This is my first training video I will be doing, and this one I will show everybody how to log and capture mini DV tapes into Final Cut Pro. Now, the first thing you want to do before you even open Final Cut Pro is make sure your FireWire cable is connected to your tape deck or your video camcorder or your camera. And then the first thing you want to do after that is open up Final Cut Pro. Now, this will take a second to open up. But once again, I just want to stress the importance of connecting those before you open up Final Cut Pro. It just helps Final Cut Pro recognize the device before it even starts opening. So here we are. I'm in Final Cut Pro. The very first thing I want to do before I start doing anything is save my project. You want to save early, save often with video editing. So I'm going to save this as log and capture training. Alrighty. So I am saved, and I'm going to start logging and capturing. Now, in order to start logging and capturing, you want to go to File, go to Log and Capture. So here's my log and capture screen. Now, first of all, this says Preview Disabled right here. Now, you don't want to worry about this. It always says this when you open it up, so don't panic. It's all good. First thing I'm going to go over is the buttons. These are your control buttons for your log and capture. Here's your play button, and here's your stop button, and of course your fast forward over here and rewind. There's two different methods of logging and capturing. You can log clips individually using this button right here, log each individual clip from what you shot, or you could log everything on one lump sum, and you could press the Capture Now button right here, and you would capture everything all together and then go and break your clips up after that. So I'm going to go ahead and play this and start setting my in and out points. Alright, so here is my video, and I'm going to pick my in and out point. He starts talking right there, and so one important thing is to add a couple seconds before you actually want it to start capturing your clip. So it says here 15, 16. I'm going to go back a little bit to about 13 seconds just so I have that little buffer, and it's just always safe to have that extra 2 seconds for editing purposes. For crossfades or cross transitions, you want to always have that extra 2 seconds. Okay, so I'm going to fast forward using the L button to get to the end of what he's saying to make it quicker. Alright, so let's say that's what we want him to say, and it's at 34 seconds, so I'm going to add a couple more seconds, 6, and then press my out button. So you can see right here my in button, or my in time code is at 13 seconds and 13 frames, and then my out is right here at 36 seconds and 26 frames. So after you set your in and out, you want to log your clip, and I'm going to call this when you log your clip, you want to add some information about it so you can recognize it later when you're coming back to edit. For example, this is a mid shot, and I'm going to say it's Cal because I'm interviewing Cal Penn, and then maybe you can talk about your location, and I'm at the soccer fields are right behind me, so I'm going to put soccer. So it's a mid shot of Cal Penn, and then soccer is the background, and press OK. And that's it. That's your logging your clip. And so I will continue to log clips, and then we will batch capture. Alright, now I have finished logging all of my clips, and now I want to batch capture. So we can get rid of this log and capture window for now, and you want to take these ones up here and you want to batch capture these ones. So select all the ones with the red lines through them, and then you want to right click, or for my computer it is control click, and then press batch capture. Okay, we now have all our clips picked out. We've got our in and out set, and now it's time to batch capture. But before we batch capture, one way that helps your camera or your tape deck work better when you're capturing these clips, when you do a batch capture, is to make sure that the media start, the button is pointing down. This arrow presses down, and all you have to do is click this one right here, and you want it to go down. That way it'll start from the first clip that's on the tape, the one at the very beginning. You can see the time code says 13:13, and then 1:14. The next one's at 3 minutes, the next one's at 5 minutes. You just want to make sure it starts at the beginning of the tape and then goes all the way through the end. That way the tape deck doesn't have to rewind and fast forward through all of this stuff. So I'm going to click this and press batch capture. One option to keep in mind, if you forgot to add your handles or forgot to add your 2 seconds of padding before or after, you can always click here and you can actually set how much time you want. So I've got my handles added, and I'm going to press OK, and I'm going to start batch capturing. It's going to prompt me to make sure I want to go, and I've got 2 minutes and 14 seconds worth of material that I need to capture. So I'm going to press continue, and we'll check back later after it's capturing. Okay, now as you can see, my clips have finished capturing. It'll be like 0 clips have left to capture, no time code, and it'll say done. And the best sign you can ever see here is successfully captured. That means everything went good and there was not a hitch. And I'll press finish, get rid of that screen, and then I press save. So as you can see, the red lines are not through these clips anymore, which means they've successfully captured and everything. So you can pick your clips and you can start watching them, or you can drag them down into your timeline or whatever. Now, one thing to remember is the problem with time code. Very important when you're logging and capturing footage. Basically, the tape has a time code on it that the camera reads, and the camera will read the time code, and that's how it decides that this first clip starts at 13 seconds and 13 frames. The second clip starts at 3 minutes, 32 seconds, 27 frames, so on and so forth. If I had for some reason decided to eject the tape between one of these two clips, it would reset the time code to 0. So earlier on the tape it would be at 1:14 and then it would go back to 0, so this one could possibly be at 1:14 as well, or it could be at like 2:20 or something like that. If you're going to be doing some filming, you want to try to film it all without ejecting the tape, otherwise you're going to come up with time code problems. You have your clips captured and you are ready to edit. One more thing, make sure you save it, just like I said before, save project all the time, early and often. Save this one, and then you're ready to edit. I hope this video was helpful and can help you log and capture more efficiently.